Hey Taurus, this is your general reading for February 2022. I do hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits. I want to give a quick shout out to all the people who like and subscribe to this channel. It's with your support that I'm able to continue putting out this content, and I appreciate that a lot. All of my links are in the description box down below. You can find readings and Reiki sessions with me on my website. So I actually have your cards already pulled up and on the table here. I've done kind of a quick perusing. We also have the astrology for you as well. We are starting off February with a new moon in Aquarius, and that is actually conjunct with Saturn, so that means they're working very closely together. This is happening very early on February 1st, right in the early hours, kind of around midnight, at least Eastern Standard Time. And so this really is a good time for you to set goals. There's almost this energy where it feels like we haven't really started a new year, just with your ruling planet Venus, as well as Mercury being retrograde throughout January. Things have been really chunky and really blocky, and we are kind of playing a catch-up game this month, especially you, Taurus, so it might feel like there's a lot of things happening all at once. This new moon, however, really is a good time for you to set new intentions for your career. This is a really powerful placement for you, and it's something that needs to be backed up with action. As much as manifestation is beautiful and helpful, you need to also manifest with your actions and laying these seeds, setting these new foundations for yourself. There's actually quite a bit this month with you also exploring higher education or learning new skills, learning new concepts. Those things could also be really important to your purpose this month as well. And there's definitely a lot of reflection that is happening. The first card that I actually had was the Knight of Cups. And I'm actually perceiving this more as your energy rather than somebody else's. It's your reading. And I feel like with this Knight of Cups, it really is figuring out how to sustain something that you love or care about. Maybe this is a relationship, maybe this is something else, but I feel like with the astrology especially, there's this big focus on what am I doing? How am I creating the life I want to create for myself? There really is this reaching I am getting for you this month. And I could feel like some of you are actually into something artistic or creative or very much a passion of yours, trying to make that into something sustainable or something that is a career. And I think, again, this is a really powerful time to set these intentions. Your ruling planet did go direct on the 29th of January, or is going direct. I'm recording this on the 25th, so it still hasn't happened at the time of this recording. But it's going to be going direct in Capricorn, and it's actually going to remain there until March. So there is this big focus on ninth house stuff, so things like education, also worldviews, maybe learning about spirituality or spiritual concepts. I could even potentially see something about learning about other cultures or connecting with other cultures. So if there's a cultural aspect to whatever it is that you want to do, there might be something that is kind of growing for you at that time. I do feel like there's something with like cultural arts for some reason that kind of came through for me, at least for some of you. You're going to have to really use your discernment to figure out whether this is talking about you or somebody else. But overall, it's like there's a lot of you thinking and connecting with what feels good here with this Knight of Cups. And I do actually see, some potential collaboration that is happening as well with Three of Pentacles, working very hard, very earnestly. I feel like there's something very pure about the work you are doing or the direction you are trying to go in this month, Taurus. And I feel like for a lot of you, there is this connecting with other people, working with other people in a project perhaps, kind of even just consulting with people, maybe even online, watching YouTube videos, really learning from other people or working with other people in some way seems very important, because I feel like you already have this direction. You already know what it is that you want, or at least a rough idea of that. There's a sense of this here with the Knight of Cups. And I think now you're really in this process of making things happen, working on things, networking, reaching out to people. And that makes a lot of sense, especially as we are moving into Pisces season and have all of these Pisces placements. There's actually a lot of really beautiful opportunities for you this year with Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces that could really connect you to kind of creative people, artistic people, free spirits, people who could really kind of help you get off the beaten path in life. And I feel like with Uranus in your sign, again, that's going to be there for quite some time, all the way until 2026, there is this big thing where you're kind of shaking yourself out of a mold or breaking yourself out of a mold. And I think you're actually finding people who are helping you do that this month. I do have the Seven of Wands coming in as well. And when I clarified this, I actually pulled the King and Queen of Pentacles. So this could represent a conflict between two people or potentially two sides. But I actually wonder if this is something to do with your parents or family or some sort of role model or a pair of role models who had some sort of expectations on you, because I get kind of this pair here with these two. These are your cards as well. Specifically, the King of Pentacles is your card, Taurus. Maybe you resonate more as the Queen of Pentacles. We don't necessarily look at the gender of the cards in tarot, but maybe you're resonating with one of these energies more than another. And the Seven of Wands, it could be that there is conflict between these two. I could also potentially see with you collaborating with other people, it might feel like you are fending off something together with other people or another person. And this could be a work situation, this could be a family situation, this could be friends. But again, there's a lot of focus on what it is that you're doing, what it is that you are creating in the world. And if you are doing this with someone, it might feel like there's this focus on working together and fighting for something together, defending something together. You don't have to necessarily do this alone. I feel like there is this thing where it feels sticky. The energy feels kind of sticky this month. Even though we are out of these retrograde energies, we are in the post-shadow periods of these retrogrades. And we're going to be in the post-shadow period for Venus retrograde throughout most of February. And there is a lot of catch-up. That's what happens. After these planets are going backwards and they station direct, which is what we're talking about, they are then returning to the position they were in before they started going backwards. And this is the catch-up period. This is when a lot of mayhem can actually occur. Mercury is going to be going direct on the 4th. This could be making you aware of things that have been happening behind the scenes or without your awareness or knowledge. A lot of the time, the Mercury retrograde is also, kind of a rude awakening sort of energy. And there may be some of that here with the Seven of Wands, and that could be pertaining to another earth sign, so another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or anyone you are working with something with, or working on something with. I could even see this potentially as you, again, just defending something that you are working on, defending something that you are trying to build or nurture here. I do feel like the challenge for you with the Eight of Cups here is really interesting, because the future, or what kind of is coming out of this with the Hanged Man, it's like you can't move forward until you gain a different perspective on something. And it's like you couldn't even walk away from something even if you tried, is almost the energy I get from it. Maybe you do need to take some time away to see things from another perspective, but it's like there is a block in a chapter, and that might be coming up or manifesting as external conflict in your life. And if you are encountering something, some sort of resistance in the people around you or in the world around you, maybe, it could be a time to really ask yourself, well, how am I resisting myself? How am I sabotaging myself? How am I getting in my own way? And how is this a manifestation of these tendencies that I have? Because we do live in this hallway of mirrors. We do live in this space-time reality where things are very reflective, and we live in a world where there's a lot of synchronicities. So if you are encountering some sort of blockage, there is this thing where you are supposed to reflect. There's a lot of energy, again, that's really having you change your worldviews or change your perspective. Perspective is a great word when we're talking about Capricorn energy for you, because again, that is your 9th house. That is your worldview. You might be needing to see things from a different angle here with the Hanged Man. Some of you might actually be looking into tarot or other forms of divination for yourself. Maybe that's even something you are trying to create a career out of. Maybe that is something that you are just using to guide you along your path. Regardless of how you are using this tool or using divinatory tools, I think they are actually useful for you because they're helping you move forward and reflect on something. And even if you're reading for yourself this month too, I just want to tell you, Taurus, focus on you. Don't focus on what this person is going to do or what's going to happen in a situation. Ask the cards, ask the divination, what do I need to do for myself? How can I maneuver through this situation? How can I be proactive in this situation? What is the energy I should be putting forward? Really bring in that self-focus. And maybe even in the comments, start asking yourself these questions or making these statements. It could be a really powerful way to claim that. I think for a lot of you, I almost get this energy. It's like there's been this tendency in the past where it's like you kind of give up on things when things get hard or there's challenges. There might be something or some sort of obstacle that you are facing this month that is kind of confronting you with this. And Mars is also in Capricorn. I know that just happened as well. And Mars is going to be working with your ruling planet Venus very closely this month. They're going to be in conjunction, especially around the 16th. It'll be the closest, which is actually on the full moon in Leo. So there could really be this time where it's like you need to really fight for the things that you care about. And if there are travel plans or destinations you're trying to get to, there could be some delays or some things that you're really pushing forward. Makes a lot of sense with what's happening in the world right now. But really, it is just about you finding your truth and standing up for it. I think that is important. And it's not just about everything going easy with that. The universe is actually trying to refine you and to strengthen your resolve. Your commitment might be a little bit tested, but I think there is something really beautiful here. You do need to reevaluate things. What else is happening here? I'm just looking at the astrology notes that I wrote for you. Yeah, there was this thing with the full moon in Leo potentially. I mentioned travel. There even could be something about a move abroad for some of you, or moving very far away. That could be something that is happening now. That could be something that you're just thinking about. That could potentially be on your mind. And if it's not, then this part of the reading just isn't for you. That's okay. Nothing went wrong. This just isn't the specific message. But for some of you who are planning to move abroad, there could be changes in home. There could be changes in family that are kind of happening with this full moon in Leo. And again, that is the same exact day, the 16th, where Venus and Mars will be closest in their conjunction. So there is a lot of Mars energy. There is a lot of potential conflict or standing up for yourself. But Mars is also passion. It's also this warrior spirit. It's kind of an aggravating energy, and maybe you're even feeling a little bit aggravated. The animal card I pulled for you is actually Swan. And this is all about reflection and seeing the world around you as a mirror. And there is this thing with language, with poetry, with creativity, a very dreamy and spiritual energy for sure that you could be tapping into this month. I feel like there's a lot of reflection that you're still going to be doing, even though there is this impetus to move forward. There's a lot of you kind of meeting your reflection eye to eye. And I don't think this is just passive reflection, to be honest with you. I think this is, as you're moving through things, you're going to be seeing aspects of yourself, and it's really important to see them in other people. It might be really hard because there might be some agitation, there might be some resistance, there might be some resentment for the people around you, and that's why you kind of need to change your perspective here. I even do get this sense with Bear at the bottom of the deck, just kind of noticing this. It is a slow, steady energy. When I think of Bear, I think of coming out of hibernation and working with the seasons. It's not an immediate energy, but Bear has a very strong vitality, a very strong fortitude, and endurance. And there could be resistance in getting something started, or it feels like you're having a hard time getting something off the ground, but I don't think that that is you needing to walk away from something. I don't actually think that is an indication that that thing you're working on is specifically out of alignment. I don't think you're on the wrong path. I think what you actually need to be doing this month, Taurus, is figuring out how you might not be aligned to your own path. and really doing your shadow work there, really figuring out the parts of you that could be resisting what you want. And that could look like any number of things. Maybe you want to work for yourself, but then there's these parts of yourself that are afraid of feeling exhausted from all the responsibility that would be placed on you. And really just become aware of these different parts of you. There's different ways to work with them, maybe figuring out strategies to meet those needs so you're less afraid of going in that direction. And this is very multifaceted. Even if you really think you want to be going into a direction, or maybe want a relationship, or maybe whatever it is that you're working towards or desiring, it's still really important that you figure out how you might be sabotaging or getting in your own way. Because when we're talking about sabotage, we're actually talking about competing desires. It's not just you're afraid of success, it's what you have made that success mean and what that part of you is afraid of happening as a result of that outcome. If you do get the promotion you really want, or you do get the job you really want, again, it could be this thing where it's like you're afraid of the extra responsibility, but maybe coming up with strategies or punching holes in that. Well, I'll be doing the things that I love. I'll be getting more energy doing this anyway. It won't feel the same level of burden as the job I'm doing now. You could also be thinking things like, with the increased money I'd be making, I could potentially hire an assistant, or figure out some sort of solution in my home life, hire somebody to do tasks that I ordinarily do. Come up with solutions to these problems. Really sit with them first, and then kind of come up with these solutions as they arise. I think that's really important with the Swan, because it's like a lot of resistance you're coming up against, but it's really internal. I do also see at the bottom of the deck here the Knight of Pentacles, which is a very nice complement to this bear energy, because it is a slow, steady, methodical pace forward. And there really is like making steady progress towards things and towards your dreams this month. And it's almost like you don't necessarily see the fruits of your labor right away, but that doesn't mean you aren't on the right path. I feel like a lot of you just need this encouragement right now. You just need to be told that keep going. You might not see things right away this month, and that's okay. It's not that anything has gone wrong. There's a lot of activation with the North Node in your sign this month, particularly around the 11th, I want to say. Mercury is going to be forming a trine, or it could be Pluto. I think it's Mercury and Pluto, and the Sun will all be forming trines. Or I'm sorry, not the Sun, it's Mercury and Pluto. So there really is this like, how do I transform? Really this energy of like pivoting towards your destiny, changing your plans in a very dramatic way, really coming up with like a new solution or new kind of 5-year plan for your life, or coming up with that for the first time. There really is this big push for you to make movements in that direction. What else do we have? I do remember as well, like on the 25th, Mercury is going to be forming a square with Uranus in your sign. And again, it's like this conflict of minds, the higher mind and the lower mind, really needing to marry these two aspects of yourself, looking at your superconscious, your subconscious, looking at all these different aspects of your mind, because Mercury represents the mind, as does Uranus, and Uranus is actually considered the higher octave of Mercury. And so there really is this needing to change your thoughts to be a match to the things you are desiring to create. That's really, really important. And I know this sounds very like law of attraction. I mean, it is law of attraction. And I think that is actually something you're supposed to be focusing on. A lot of the time I do focus on shadow work. I do focus on reflection. But there really does need to be this coming into alignment with your higher truth, with your ideals. That's really, really important. And that's going to take some time this month, but I think it's helping you refine this. So further down the line, you will be grateful for the work and energy that you put in during this time, even if you don't necessarily see immediate fruits of that. I feel like there will be some fruits with the Knight of Pentacles. It just takes time. I also see the World at the bottom of the deck as well, underneath this Knight of Pentacles, which tells me that there is a world opening up to you. There is a completion of a cycle. There is something new that you are stepping into, which is all very, very exciting. So just keep working through this. Work forward. You know, if you are encountering obstacles, really be creative and really be honest with yourself with what that might be a reflection of within yourself. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Taurus. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below how you might be working against yourself, how this is landing with you. I'd be very curious to hear that. And all of my links are in the description box if you're looking for a reading or a Reiki session, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.